up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, we got another Citrine video today. I've been playing her against level 10,000 enemies a lot in the last week. Mainly because of my really crazy power strength invigoration we got. So we'll be going over level 10k one-shot Citrine today with Expedite Suffering. It's quite nice. And yeah, we'll just be talking about Citrine's abilities and basically how you can min-max to get crazy damage out of specific weapons with her. Before we get into it though, a lot of this footage was recorded on the live stream channel, so make sure you go check that out if you have not already. And also make sure you're subbed to this YouTube channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads, and that ain't changing anytime soon. So I hope that you guys enjoy all the videos. Alright, so for Citrine, we have an invigoration, and we got a special Helminth. I think I actually have the best Helminth for her in the entire game. It's called Expedite Suffering. This comes from the actual Helminth chair. No sacrifice frames required. But yeah, it's going to give you... Basically what this will do is, if an enemy has a slash proc or a toxin proc on them, usually those are damage over time effects. This will make the damage over time instantly tick all the damage instantly and give you a damage multiplier on the damage over time. So that combined with Prismatic Gem, her third ability, which gives you increased status chance and status duration, we're going to be getting tons and tons of toxin procs and slash procs too, depending which weapon you're using, and you will one-shot level 10,000 enemies with this, while also basically being immortal with all the shield gating we're going on today. So it's a pretty specific build, but it's extremely insane, honestly. So let's get into it. First, let's just show what this will be doing. So Expedite Suffering, like I said, will detonate slash procs on the enemies. I'm going to despawn this Demolish just so there's no beeping. So basically, Citrine's first ability throws gems at the enemies. It will cause a slash proc. So just like out the box, slash proc, push the ability, detonate the slash proc. That's something you can just do with Citrine if you use Expedite Suffering. So first ability can just like nuke low-level enemies. But as we see, this guy's more tanky. He only did 7,000 damage to him. That's when you're going to be wanting to use things like the gem and her fourth ability, Crystallize, to put guaranteed red crit crystals on them and, you know, detonate big damage. That wasn't even stacked up, really. And that's to basically be the same situation at level 10,000, too. So that's the idea of the build. Put damage over time on the enemies and then detonate the damage over time for big damage. So Toxin procs will work, as will Slash procs. Electric procs and Heat procs do not work for this. But Citrine's Crystal, the Prismatic Gem, will put heat and electric procs on enemies anyway, which is just good for Condition Overload, as we're using a weapon with Condition Overload. As far as the build and Archon Shards, we need casting speed on Citrine real bad. So we've got 2 casting speed shards, one of them being Tau. And as far as what other shards we have on here, because we have a power strength invigoration for increased ability strength and increased reload speed, we don't actually need to put too much more power strength on the shards. Duration will actually make it where the Prismatic Gem's increased status duration will go up a lot. So the more status duration you have, the more slash proc damage you'll technically be getting over the course of the entire slash proc. But since we're detonating it, it scales very nicely. Scaling here and scaling here with strength and technically duration on the gem as well. So the build right here is going to be a shield gating level 10k setup. Now, Multi-Augmenting could definitely get switched out for something else, as could Energize, because with this much power strength, I mean, we're getting guaranteed double orbs. Well, at least guaranteed double health orbs, and an 84% chance every enemy we kill affected by her first ability will drop an energy orb, too. So we are infinite energy, basically. But, you know, when you're surrounded by enemies, you do want to make sure you have an energy pool to deal with, so Prime Flow is going to be on here. Archon Stretch. Like I said, her Crystal is going to deal electric damage, so this will give you the Archon Stretch bonus at all times, as long as your Prismatic Gem is shooting an enemy, which is going to be 2 energy regen per second. Technically not really needed. If you don't have Archon Stretch, normal Stretch is going to be totally fine in that slot. But I figured as we're running Citrine's Crystal, might as well get the electric damage on there. But yeah, as far as Shield Gate, we got Brief Respite, we got Augur Reach, Augur Secrets, and we got 2 Augur mods on our pistol too to give us full Shield Gate by casting the first ability. This is also going to be a Condition Overload procker here. If we ever do go for maximum damage, you do want to use a Condition Overload procker technically. And we got the new Arcane Secondary Encumber, giving us even more status procs on the enemies. Multi-shot and fire rate Riven. Okay, so our weapon of choice here is going to be the Sporothrix. And the reason for that is if you watch my previous Citrine video, we have a 1% crit chance sniper rifle with a 3 times crit multiplier and 53 status chance at base, mostly slash focused. So we jam all the mods on here. We make that 3 times crit multiplier go to a 14.6 crit multiplier with a crit damage Riven. Additionally, it's pretty much a guaranteed proc slash, so it's going to be a real nasty slash proc, and I mean, technically 14.6 times multiplier, and we've got a bunch of multi-shot. We're dealing like tons of damage per bullet compared to like if we were to crit, because we're shooting her guaranteed red crit crystals. This was a Corpus mission we did most recently, so we have Serata. This build will one-shot level 10,000 Corpus. I do have a Riven, of course, with Toxin, crit damage, and melee damage, but yeah, this will one-shot level 10,000 Corpus, especially when you start using Expedite Suffering. You've got Matarai Focus School to give, increased power, strength, and casting speed, but it was not used as much in this video. Our companion of choice is the Panzer Volpophyla. As for endurance runs, you don't really want to have a Sentinel because the Sentinel will die in one hit, and you can't revive Sentinel, so your vacuum will be gone. Panzer Devolution, bring it back from the dead, Viral Quills, all that kind of stuff. Martyr Symbiosis saving you if you were about to die. So that is basically the config. So as far as how this gameplay loop goes, let's just get like a bunch of like Lancers or something. Actually, no, we'll do Exogox stats because this is like over. The thing is, any enemy I'm gonna spawn here is not gonna be able to survive. So I had to go to level 10k to test this properly. So the way this goes, make sure you got your gem out. If you need energy orbs, make you debuff the enemies, and then cast your 4, put crystals on them. They're gonna die in one hit. So let's just see how this goes. 103 million. 54 million, and they're not even like really viral proc. Let's get some procs on them. Darn it, they're dead. So this is the problem, is nothing can actually survive to actually see the proper numbers. The highest I've seen in the Simulacrum was 182 million in one bullet. So, even the Tysus CO procer can kill him at this point. Remember as well, since you are releasing toxin procs from your crystal, you can just detonate that at any time, just by pushing 2. So, with no actual gunshots on them, just like going around one-shotting everything, so. Pretty ridiculous if you ask me. Let's get some level 10k gameplay on the screen as well. So we could hopefully see an enemy survive more than one bullet here. Spoiler, if I do things right, they will never actually survive. Nothing in the game will survive this. Now, let's talk about some downsides while we're going over this, though. So, what could potentially be, something that would ruin the fun here? It's going to be mainly enemies that have overguard. As these enemies love to jump, enemies with crystals on them can still move around and attack you. Enemies with overguard like Eximus and Thrax, you're basically going to need to make sure they're not moving around to shoot that crystal because, you have to shoot the crystal. It's a pretty specific hitbox. So some other weapons that you can use on this are going to be things like the Convectrix. They've recently bug fixed that. Convectrix was not working before with these crystals. Now it is finally working. So, you have your choice of Toxin procs or Slash procs. This guy, level 7,000 Eximus, getting one shot after we do all the things we're supposed to do. And as you can see, we are surrounded, but we are pretty much immortal because we can shield gate so easily with our 1. You see, shield breaks at rolling guard, kill some stuff, throw the crystals, you're shield gated again. She has so much energy. You have to be spamming her 1 at high levels to be getting all these energy orbs and to be shield gating to actually survive on her. So if there's not a bunch of trash ads around, you are pretty much in trouble as Citrine. So keep that in mind. As you can see right here, throwing a Toxin Glaive at this Thrax. It's not as much damage as our actual primary, so keep that in mind. Sarada is mainly meant for enemies that are no overguard and going to also be technically Corpus. So if you were fighting against Grenier instead of Corpus here, I'd say use the Glaive Prime with honestly the exact same kind of build. Similar build at least. Instead, it will still one-shot level 10k Grenier with a non-12x build. You hardly ever seem to need a 12x build on the Glaive or Sarada for anything, so yeah. But yeah, I think Citrine is extremely fun. I think she is better than Varuna. And I think that she is not worth farming, though, because near defense is a slog. I'd say Conjunction Survival was technically more fun. But yeah, this is a good frame. I did get her Helminth yesterday, and I would say her Helminth is not worth it at all. Hilariously, it says 50% strength for the Helminth version. They meant that. It's 50% damage. It's 50% drop chance for orbs. At least it has the same amount of range, but yeah, they actually recently buffed Citrine's Helminth yesterday. And actually, I guess normal Citrine's ability, too, to break boxes now. So, yeah, I guess no one was really going for it or using it, and after I tested it out, I can see why. It was really, really bad. And as far as, like, frames you could use Citrine's Helminth on, Titania, I was thinking about that, but then it's like, oh, dude, Neutron Star and Thermal Thunder are just better than Citrine's Crystal Gem Throw, whatever it's called. So, yeah, this is a Void Cascade. By the way, if you guys are looking to do a level 10,000 mission for your first time, I would recommend Steel Path Void Cascade, or normal Void Cascade, I suppose. You can get the level 10,000 enemies in like an hour and like 10 minutes, basically. That's the mission you're looking at right now. These guys are level 82 hundo, so, I could bring up the level 10k if that's what you prefer, but it's pretty much going to be the same situation. If you could hit the gem, you're good to go. If you can't hit the gem, it's like what you're seeing on the screen right now. Oh man, I hope that this Thrax actually stands still for 1 second. There we go. We finally got the red crit crystal, and I'm out of energy, so yeah. There's times where things can just not go as planned. Let's see some actual level 10k here. And look, I'm just surrounded by enemies. But as Citrine, you are pretty much immortal as long as you have energy. I'm surrounded by Thrax. I'm surrounded by Eximus and enemies, and there's just stuff going on everywhere. But your CC, you know, can freeze non-Thrax. Like I said, Overguard is not her friend. She does not like Overguard at all. But, you know. Also, where did that Expedite Suffering go? I don't know. The thing about the Sporothrix is it's a funny weapon. It's fun for this. I think it's the main use in the game is for this. But, you know, I would definitely be lying to you if I said that other weapons might not feel better than this thing. It's all about that 1% crit chance becoming 300% crit chance. And you can see such stupid numbers. Like I'm saying, like, these guys, I'm having to, like, basically constantly shield get to survive. If I could just do a controlled situation against this level 10k, oh, man, they would be so dead in one bullet. And I've seen it sometimes in the run, but at the same time, right? Like, what is even going on in the screen right now? There are so many Thrax. I'm just spamming abilities constantly. So it's I find this pretty fun at least. And there's the Acolyte just gave up. Acolyte's like, all right, everything's level 10k. I'm level 295. I'm just going to give up and just disappear into the puddles. So hope you guys found this video fun and helpful. I think Expedite Suffering is the best Helminth on Citrine. And I will be mainly using this build going forward whenever I do play Citrine. It is tested against level 10k. Like I said, this is like one of the runs. I've done 10k with Citrine like at least 5 times with a similar build to this. So yeah, Terrify, good for level 10k with Citrine. Expedite Suffering, extremely good for level 10k with Citrine. I tried Pillage. I'm sure it's fine too. I just didn't really enjoy it as much as Terrify and Expedite Suffering. So yeah, hope you guys found the video fun and helpful. I'll see you next time. Appreciate all the support, and yeah, have fun playing Citrine. Take it easy. Peace.